The presentations and showcases of Summer Game Fest are over. Now it's time to review what were the interesting announcements. As always, I will focus on what got my attention or I think is worth talking about. GTA 6 presence was felt throughout SGF. Each time a game announced a late September release date, everyone's thoughts went to GTA. But I will talk more about this later in the video. Let's start. One thing I realized after posting my previous video was that I talked about Wolverine's leaked gameplay without talking about how it felt like Spider-Man. In it, Logan was jumping around, running on walls, and overall being very nimble and agile like Spider-Man. The gameplay shown in the state of play changed very little of that, especially because it focused on combat and not on traversal. They managed to make the animations feel heavier, and the gore helps disguise it. But if you ignore it and focus on just Logan, you'll notice that he's still zipping around like Spider-Man. Marvel Token revealed the villains team, the Knights of Doom, showing Magneto, Carnage, and Green Goblin for the first time. Green Goblin was the surprise here since Magneto had already leaked, and Carnage was strongly hinted at. Kemuri is the first game from Studio Unseen. The trailer was weak in my opinion, with way too many quick shots. It's slated for 2027 currently, so it has plenty of time to show gameplay without so many cuts. But my first impression was average. I was surprised that Onimusha revealed the release date at the State of Play and not SGF. It had been consistently present at Jeff's shows, so I thought it was a lock for SGF. Capcom teased the Oni form and announced that it's releasing on the 25th of September. Control Resonant went on a marketing spree, showing trailers at 3 different shows. I really must praise Remedy though. They did a really good job. Each trailer focused on different aspects of the game. The State of Play trailer focused on Dylan, the main character, the Summer Game Fest trailer focused on the setting and story, and the PC Gaming Show had a trailer focusing on combat. So good work, Remedy. God of War Lothei was finally revealed. This game has been rumored for a while now. I played a little of God of War, and while I enjoyed it, I prefer combat with more flair and speed. So I was way more interested when Faye launched the enemy into the air and did an air combo, which sucks now that Sony is not releasing games for PC anymore. The remake of Code Veronica has been rumored for so long that I had already dismissed it as just people wishing the game was real. But Capcom shut me up by revealing it at Summer Game Fest. Happy for RE fans. I speculated that Star Wars would show both Galactic Racer and Zero Company at SGF, and I got it right. Galactic Racer showed a new planet and hinted at a deeper story mode with scenes out of the courses. Zero Company showed gameplay and talked more about the story. Also good for them for setting it in the Clone Wars era instead of the Empire era. Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads showed its new protagonist in the single-player adventure mode, which kinda brings the franchise to full circle, since at one point they did try to make a single-player adventure mode. My first impression of 1666 Amsterdam was Witch's Creed. The developer even released a prologue. Unfortunately, the prologue does little to show proper gameplay. It's mostly just walking around and introducing the setting. And the trailers released in multiple events did little to show gameplay as well. I feel like either the trailer or the prologue should focus on gameplay and let the other handle the setting. I considered including Blood of Dawnwalker in my predictions video, but I didn't because I thought that since they already released plenty of trailers and promotional videos, they would skip SGF in favor of having a bigger presence at opening night live. Turns out I was wrong. SGF showed a brief trailer. Not sure if it was enough to tip anyone towards buying the game. I feel that at this point, you are in or out. Stellar Blade Blood Rain was a surprise. I don't think anyone had Stellar Blade on their bingo cards. Now I must hurry. I intended to play the game sooner, but real life and the backlog got in the way of things. Street Fighter 6 revealed its next season of DLC. Tifa's inclusion wasn't a surprise since it leaked, but I guess Capcom must have messed with leakers, because Tifa was the only leaked character that was right. All the others are new characters. In my previous video, I thought that FF7 was a possibility, but it was too soon. Square Enix heard that and made sure to prove me wrong. Not only did they show a trailer, they also held a deep dive presentation and even announced the simultaneous release of Final Fantasy VII Revelations to all consoles. Now come on, Square Enix, announce that bundle that everyone knows is coming. Xbox had its showcase on the 7th, and it opened with Gears of War E-Day, followed by a Gears stream after the show. I think it was good. I'm not a big Gears person. From what I've seen, and from what I saw around the internet, the reception has been better than the last one. Let's see if E-Day can reinvigorate the franchise. Sea of Thieves announced a custom mode for players to create their own games. I'm always in support of giving players tools to improve their game experience, even custom modes. Just be warned that custom modes often get more weird stuff than good stuff. Sega was teasing Crazy Taxi in the days leading up to SGF, so it wasn't surprising when it got revealed. Crazy Taxi World Tour seems to be more Crazy Taxi, which is what people wanted. Seeing the phones at the end of the trailer made me wonder if they incorporate app drivers like Uber in some capacity into the game. Magicians was a very interesting trailer. The art style and the gameplay shown reminded me a lot of Dishonored. The game will let you control a magician fighting through hell to get revenge on those that put you there, and, I assume, escape from there. The game is slated for 2027, so we'll have to wait some time still. Castlevania had a trailer giving us a good look at the new protagonist, Rose Belmont. The trailer also featured a few of the bosses Rose will be facing in the game. I predicted that the game would announce a release date, but that was an easy guess. It is releasing on October 15, one of the few with guts to release in October. Vivarium seems interesting, but I'm still a bit unclear about it. The 70s and 80s Ghibli style looks good, and it seems like a cozy game, but the end hinted at something more going on about the place where the Vivarium is. I need to see more of it. Persona 6 was a disappointment. With all the leaks around it, one would think that they were preparing to have a big reveal. But nope. Fans got a very vague teaser that just revealed a logo. That's it. Nothing else. I talked about the possibility of Clockwork Revolution being delayed to 2027 in my previous video, and that's exactly what happened. The lack of at least a season points to the game being far off too. I'm still interested in it, but I feel that Inxile will have to put some big effort into getting people hyped about this game again. Also the second console exclusive game under Xbox New Direction. I will talk about the other shows, since there was not a lot about the other showcases that I really want to talk about. The biggest surprise by far was the Kingdom Hearts 4 at the Nintendo Direct. Alongside the review, it's releasing on Switch too. Slash Zero is pretty much a character action game, but in a 2D view rather than 3D. On one hand, I really like the combat shown. On the other, I struggle to keep interested in roguelikes. Ascenders is a tactical RPG where the field is vertical instead of horizontal. It's really cool when the developer introduces a spin on an old formula that no one thought of before. Moving around having to factor in gravity got me really interested in this game. Beast of Reincarnation had a trailer talking about the setting and the main character, but I don't think it really changed people's minds about it. Either you're in or you're out, and I think most people are out. Exodus had a big gameplay showing. It's made by former Mass Effect devs, and it's pretty much a Mass Effect Andromeda mixed with one. The Paragon and Renegade choices are also present, much to my dislike. I was never a fan of that system since it sometimes can result in situations you did not really intend. This year's SGF was very okay, in that they would show a trailer and afterwards you would just think, okay, nothing really amazed people, with very few exceptions. But on the flip side, almost nothing was really bad. It was a very bland year. As I talked at the beginning of the video, a bunch of games were announced to late September due to wanting to get out of the way of GTA 6. but honestly, I think some of the devs were overly cautious. If you are launching a AAA game, I can understand wanting to stay more than a month away from GTA, but AA and indies have no such problem. Some of these games could have easily been released 2-3 weeks before GTA 6 and be fine. This overly cautious choice of release date now led to a situation where all developers will lose sales due to releasing so close to one another. The only winner of the situation was Castlevania, which will be released on October 15 and will have an entire month to itself. Konami must be very happy. These were the games I thought were the most interesting of this year's SGF. If you want to talk about a game I left out, leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you around.